Imbento lang.
Welcome to Imbento Lang, the show where we delve into the minds of Filipino inventors who have left an indelible mark on science and technology. I'm your host, Steve, and today we have the privilege of talking to the CEO and co-founder of Kapili, Mr. Harold Laborte. Kapili is a Mindanao-based social enterprise that transforms waste human hair into valuable products for various industries. He graduated with a business economics degree from Xavier University, Ateneo de Cagayan in 2015, where he also served as president of the Student Council. Before founding Kapili, Harold worked in revenue management and consulting for Cebu Pacific, Red Doors, and Revenue. In nearly 3 years of operations, Kapili has earned several awards, most recently being the champion of the 2022 Bluepreneurs Asia Ventures Bootcamp Pitch Competition, Iligan City's most inspiring youth entrepreneur and enterprise in 2022, and was Startup of the Year in Iligan City for 2023. He received the Oracle NetSuite Social Impact Award in 2023, Nexus Philippines Startup of the Year and Founder of the Year in 2023 as well, BPI CNEG finalist and Vilgro Philippines Business Growth Support Awardee in 2022, and the BPI Direct Banco Negosyo Co awardee in 2023. He was one of the top 20 founders for Youth Social Innovation Laboratory by Youth Collab Philippines, supported by UNDP and City Foundation. Join us as we uncover the stories of Filipino innovators. This is Imbento Lang. Stay tuned for our conversation with Harold. Hi, Harold. Welcome to the show. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Let's talk about you as an innovator. Could you tell me more about yourself and what led to the founding of Kapili?
Yeah, actually, the business behind Kapili. So what we do in Kapili, for context, is that we create different products or byproducts from our human waste hair. So the idea behind Kapili started as a research thesis way back when I was still in high school.
Oh,
So that was
that
around,
far, ah?
that was around more than 10 years ago pa, di ba? So at that time, of course, when you're still in high school, you don't know yet what's out there, correct? Parang ginawa lang namin yung thesis namin for the sake of graduating. Let's be honest, when you're in high school, that's it, right? So
Yeah.
you just want to go to college, you just want to finish everything. Before that, nung high school kasi, when I was still in my hometown in Iligan City, that's north in Mindanao, there was a wide banning of plastics in commercial establishments. So at that time, we were trying to find alternatives to the packaging. Diba? Like, bawal yung cellophane, bawal yung mga ganito, ganyan. So at that time, we explored the idea, why not use human hair as a raw material for packaging? Because the good thing about our human hair is that it has better tensile strength compared to coconut, compared to rubber. So kahit if you try to cut a strand of your hair, medyo mahirap siya. So at that time, when I was still in high school, we explored like gaano ba kabigat yung kaya makarry ng isang boat natin.
Okay.
So that's what we did. But again, it's a different mindset pag high school ka pa, no? So fast forward to 2021 during the height of pandemic, I decided to go back to my hometown. So I used to work here in Manila for around 6 to 7 years,
Yeah.
but I decided to go back to my family and I wanted to start my own business na. So I wanted to be there in Iligan City, close with my family, and everything's a professional life ko. I want to be there in Iligan City already. So, ayun, I was jotting down, no, what kind of businesses should I start? And then suddenly, napalingon ako sa cabinet ko. Why? Kasi I used to keep all my manuals. I used to keep all my thesis, all my outputs sa isang cabinet. So dun, even my old books when I was still in elementary, nandun yun lahat. I think it's just a bit of collection lang siguro on my part, no? Pero ayun, nakita ko yung manual ko. And then, tinignan ko lang. No? I was just curious. Kasi nire-refresh ko ano nga ulit yung study ko nung high school. Then, I read about my manual and then I got more curious. So, sinearch ko siya sa Google. So, I went to the internet. I searched it online. What's happening with our human hair right now? So, dun ako na-amaze kasi the results showed that in other countries, like in Europe, in US, in South America, they've done a lot of things already with human hair across multiple industries. like textile, construction, even sa construction, nahalo yung buhok.
Talaga.
So they have done a lot of things already with human hair. And as much as na-amaze ako during that time, I was also disappointed with myself.
Why is that?
Kasi I was so disappointed because we could have started it here in the Philippines more than 10 years ago. So it was part of my study, but we didn't act on it. Kasi again, iba yung mindset natin, di ba? When we
Yeah.
were still in high school. So, ayun. But the good thing here is that no one has been doing it here in the Philippines and in Southeast Asia. So there's a lot of room to play in introducing human hair as a raw material. So yeah, I think that's the story behind how we started Kapili.
And what are the products currently of Kapili now?
So right now, there are two business activities for Kapili. So first is we trade human hair as it is. I think the most common one here in the Philippines is that you trade your human hair for fashion. Diba? For hair
For
wigs, extensions.
Right.
But we're also opening opportunities to trade our human hairs to other industries, especially yung nakaka-adapt na sa possibilities of human hair as a raw material like what other countries have done, no? But aside from trading, we're also yung pinaka main talaga namin is how do we create more byproducts from human hair. So right now, with the technology that we got from the US, we were able to come up with around two products. So the first one is to use your hair for oil and chemical adsorptions. So basically, pag oil spills, chemical spills. So most people kasi, when we talk about these spills, ang unang pumapasok sa mind nila is yung mga spills sa oceans. Like the usual Guimaras or Mindoro oil spill last year. But in reality, these kind of incidents doesn't only happen on the oceans, but it can also happen on land. Like for example, may nag-leak yung makina sa factory mo.
Right.
So or let's say you're dealing with certain chemicals no sa facility mo. So basically in order to treat those waste and before they go to any bodies of water, so you really need to absorb that waste chemical or waste oil. So that's how you use yung sorbent material namin. And then the second product is that it's good for plants. So it's nice to know na our human hair is actually good for the plants, for crops. So because our human hair is very abundant with nitrogen, at the same time, it's good to retain moisture content. So it's better than coco peat, in short. So that's the beauty of our human hair. We even tried to grow seedlings with our human hair, comparing it to growing seedlings with soil and coco peat. Actually, one best result that we got is that for around, I think it's around 9 to 12 days of sowing. So yung growth rate ng seedlings using soil and water is around 25%. Pero water plus hair is actually 90%. So mas
That's a
tumubo
big
ng
one.
mabilis yung mga seedlings. So we've used bell pepper and mustasa seedlings actually. So yeah, that's the beauty of our human hair. And there are a lot of opportunities sa other industries na hindi pa natin na-explore here in the Philippines. And that's what we want to bring here sa Kapili, no? Na hey, walang sayang sa buhok mo, di ba? So yeah, I think that's what we do in Kapili.
I'm curious. The company's name is Kapili. What does it mean? Does it have any origins?
Yeah. A lot of people thought na Kapili is actually my family name or a family name of one of my co-founders. But no, actually Kapili is just a Latin word for hair. So, ganun lang ka-simple. Why? Because majority of the founders kasi, we graduated from a Jesuit-run university. So, we always love Latin. So, that's why we just convert. What is hair in Latin, guys? So, yeah, Kapili.
That's nice. Very, very creative. I want to ask about your current beneficiaries and stakeholders. Who are you currently engaging with? Any communities that you want to talk to us about?
Yeah, the good thing about Kapili is that we set it up in a way na it's a social enterprise. Because as much as we want to earn profits, in reality, right, what we want talaga is really to have a community grow with us. So may kaakibat kami or may kasama kaming community in our mission. So first is that saan ba galing yung mga buhok namin. So basically, we partner with different salons and barbershops in northern Mindanao. So that's almost 80 to 100 salons already na partners namin. So instead that they throw the waste from the landfill, so we actually teach them how to properly segregate the human hair. Why? Kasi in reality, yung waste na nakukuha natin from these establishments, minsan may halo yan. Lahat naman siguro tayo pumupunta ng salons or barbershops, di ba? So you have those tissues, even the nail clippings, di ba? So parang ang daming nakahalo. But yeah, we teach these salons and barbershops to properly segregate their human hair. And instead na tinatapon nila sa landfill, they trade it with us. So basically, there's incentive na binibigay namin sa kanila. So totoong may pera sa basura. At the same time, it's an additional income stream for the salons and the barbershops. Kasi during the height of the pandemic, they are one of the most affected. Aside from the hospitality, di ba? Kasi sino namang magpapagupit during pandemic, di ba? Lahat naman siguro tayo nasa bahay. So at least post-pandemic, parang additional income stream for these establishments, no? Aside from that, so the moment we collect this waste hair from salons and barbershop, we process it and we work with another community of cooperative composed mostly of unemployed women and mothers in northern Mindanao. So they are San Roque Multipurpose Cooperative. So yun, it's giving them another livelihood. Kasi the main focus of that cooperative was actually creating specialty papers. And then they used to export their products to Germany. But because of the pandemic, they na-stop yung operations ng cooperative na yun. So doon kami pumasok because we want the cooperative to have a continued livelihood. So in-explain namin and then tinuruan namin sila how to use the technology that came from the US. And now, they're doing both products already. And they earn a commission for every product that they produce from the equipment. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Kapili was founded during the pandemic, am I right?
Correct, around 2021.
And how many of you who founded the company?
There are 6 of us.
And then all from like your batchmates? Or?
Actually, all my founders na-meet ko from different stages in my life.
Oh.
So, I met someone from high school, as in seatmate ko ng high school. And then the other 2, my friends from college. And then the last 2, nakasama ko sa trabaho. So, across different stages in my life. So, kumbaga, I was the center na kaya nagbi-meet din sila. So,
right. And I would assume different disciplines also yung kanilang expertise.
Yeah. The good thing about the founding team of Kapili, in-ensure ko kasi na kompleto kami. Like, someone is marketing, someone is product. Kasi, for me as a founder kasi, I personally know ano yung kulang ko, ano yung hindi ko kaya. Kaya when I started Kapili, naghahanap talaga ako who can actually substitute me on this field. So basically, for example, yung classmate ko nung high school, she heads the product development. Kasi that's her background, product design. That's why she's working with Design Center right now. And then the other 2, more onto operations. They used to work on community projects. And that's why social enterprise, we work with communities. And yung sa sales naman, kasi yung career niya from sales talaga ever since. So yeah, we came from different backgrounds talaga.
My takeaway there is it needs like a sort of self-awareness then about your weaknesses and what your strengths are. And then having that conscious mindset that when you're looking for people who would like to partner up with the startup, talagang gagrab mo yung opportunity to onboard.
But actually, at first, nahihiya ako, to be honest. Kasi when I work in groups, I always work with people na tinatrust ko talaga, as in super duper close sa akin.
Right.
So when I started Kapili, yung mga close connections ko talaga kasi parang ayaw nila mag-startup So it actually pushed me na mag-post sa Facebook. Na, hey guys, I'm starting a startup, maybe you wanted to join. And nagulat ako kasi may nag-comment, yun yung mga naging co-founders ko. We're close naman, like for example, one of my co-founders, diba, high school classmate ko. We're close naman in a way, but hindi na kasi kami nagkita after ilang years na, diba? And then suddenly she messaged me na parang interested siya. Yung mga things like that.
That's wonderful.
Na one thing siguro na pwede nating ma-realize is that we don't need to be afraid to ask someone who wants to join us. siguro mas mataas yung chance that they can actually contribute and stay with you if yung motivation mismo is galing sa kanila.
Right.
No, so I wanted to join you. So parang ang ganda nun. Kasi without knowing yet kung ano yung mission mismo ng company, it's about their drive na I wanted to start my own startup as well. So ayun, so that's the story behind the founders of Kapili.
That's very wonderful and very, very inspiring. Let's talk about the product itself and how, I can see that there are different applications to it. How were you able to source the inspiration that you saw different uses for it instead of like, this is for just the hair mats or this is just for oil spill? Any thoughts on that one?
Actually, in terms of where to use or like ano yung prioritize namin, it's always about research. ano yung kaya natin as of the moment based on our capacity to produce and based on our expertise to produce as well, no. So example nun is for example yung machine equipment na we got from the US. So before that, of course, as a startup, wala ka pang funding.
Mukhang manual.
Parang manual yun dati. Wala ka pang equipment kasi wala ka pang funding kasi you're just starting out, no? So you just need to be creative or you just need to be resourceful as well.
In what way?
Pwede kang mag-fundraise. I think a lot of people are going to that route, diba? It's either you loan or mag-fundraise ka to investors. But the other way na tinignan namin is that in terms of R&D, we partner with organizations who can collaborate with us in terms of R&D. We don't have our own equipments, we don't have our own laboratories, diba? So we partner with the academe to help us on our R&D. And then when it comes to the technology itself, so yun, remember nung na-found out ko yung human hair na ginagamit across different countries. So I actually checked kung sino yung nagpo-provide ng technology nila. And then I emailed them because I wanted to use that technology as well. And the good thing is, yung nasa US was actually a charity organization. So they just gave it to us for free. So at least no, it helped us lessen the potential cost of starting the business. So I think one of the best things talaga is really to be resourceful with what you have right now in order to make things happen. So and then from there on, again, kung ano lang yung kaya mo as of the moment to prioritize what kind of product you're going to launch. It depends kasi on your limitations as of the moment. So unless you need to fundraise more, no?
Sure.
If you want to launch better products pa rin or other products from other industries. Yeah.
Can you describe to us the steps that you took in creating your prototypes? How did you decide on the materials, on the form, etc.?
There's no problem with the supply because human hair is everywhere.
Yeah.
Hindi tayo mauubusan yan. So the challenge really is going to the challenge is going to the salons and barbershops to get their waist hair. Kasi ang unang tinatanong nila, sino ba kayo? Ba't nyo kukunin yung mga buhok namin? Or at first, they thought na, okay, mga hair wigs lang yan sila.
Yeah.
But actually, we explained to them, no, hindi po kami yung gumagawa ng hair wigs. So we shared to them yung mission namin. And then, at least, no, napapa-oo naman sila. Kasi later on, sinasabi namin na we can incentivize you. I think that's one of the motivators as well for this industry, no? Na willing sila magbigay ng mga buhok nila. And the good thing about that, insert ko lang din, is that whenever we go to salons and barbershops, it's not only the employees and the owner who's actually listening, but even yung pumupunta doon. Like, there's this instance na nagpapakulay siya ng buhok. So, kliyente siya nung salon na yun. So, while I was pitching about the business, nakikinig siya. And then later on, sa Q&A, nagtatanong din siya. So, parang it's a good win din for us kasi, again, as a social enterprise, part din kasi ng mission namin is to advocate for that awareness. Na ano ba yung potential problems natin if we don't upcycle or if we don't recycle yung human hair natin, no? Ano yung potential impact niya sa environment and ano yung mga different opportunities niya. So at least there's an additional knowledge na i-impart namin sa mga clients din ng mga salons and barbershops.
For sure. About it aligns well with awareness on sustainability efforts and what they could do as a customer or a consumer.
Correct. So there's no problem with supply. It's there. In terms of form, it's already given because of the technology. So parang may na kasi siya may default design na siya. But in terms naman siguro sa execution, like, okay, you already have the product, what's next? So that's why when we talk to potential clients, dun pa namin nakikita saan ba pwede magamit yung mats namin? Or is there a need for us na kailangan i-redesign yung existing design niya? Because that's what we did with the past two companies that we've been talking eh. Kasi iba pala yung use case nila for oil adsorption. Yung iba nasa kanal, yung iba nasa drainage, yung iba parang nasa faucet. So iba't iba. So you need to actually prototype different types of design, kumbaga. So yeah.
And actually listening to the feedbacks and the comments through, talagang engaging and
Correct.
interviewing these stakeholders. Of course, I'm sure that the company has seen a lot of highs with your recent awards, but were there any frustrating moments about when developing your product?
Frustrating moment siguro is the time that you're waiting kung may interested ba. I think that's the most frustrating one. Kasi human hair is something na hindi common. I mean, it's widely available, pero hindi siya common as a byproduct, di ba, for big industries. At first, nagtatanong sila, totoo ba yan? Although may iba naman na alam nila na possible yun. Pero that's always the first question na tinatanong sa amin, na parang, hindi ba yan kadiri? Di ba? Yung parang ganon. Or, sa patay ba yan na tao? Kinukuha yung mga there are those questions eh. There are those parang hesitations to try it. Kasi what's available right now in the market, there's only one. And it's made from plastics. So our current oil sorbent materials in the market are actually made from plastics. While they are effective, they actually pose a significant challenge in our environment.
Yeah.
Kasi non-biodegradable sila eh. So that's how we insert no na parang okay, this came from human hair, but actually this is more effective. It's more absorbent than the current one, and this is more sustainable. So that's how we win those clients kasi. So yeah, I think again going back to your question, no, it's about shifting the perspective of the potential client or the potential user na you're going to use hair instead of plastic. So and then hair coming from strangers, kumbaga. So yeah, I think that's one of the challenges then.
Thank you for sharing that. So Harold, what advice would you give to someone who thinks that they have a great idea for an invention?
First, siguro is always believe in yourself. Kasi this is the most important one eh. It's for you to survive in the long run. There are a lot of questions. There are a lot of people who might doubt your idea later on. Pero as long as you believe in yourself na kaya mo to, and then find support as well. Find support or network na pwedeng tumulong sa'yo to ensure that your idea doesn't just stay as an idea, but actually pwede siyang ma-convert into actual products already. So find that support. Don't hesitate kasi most common mistake siguro ng people who have those kind of ideas, parang ang unang challenge nila is wala kasi akong pera eh. wala akong pera to start this, or let's say parang ang dami kong ginagawa. There's always a room for you to become resourceful. Aside from they should not throw their manuals or thesis or research sa school, siguro what I can share is that there are a lot of things na nakikita natin, di ba? But sometimes kasi these kind of things binabaliwala lang natin. Like for example, human hair. No one cares about human hair. That even the government consider them as just miscellaneous waste. Kasi when we started Kapili, of course, when you start a business, diba, you need to have a research. You need to understand the market. So in terms of waste, it's always about waste paper, waste metal, waste plastics. So when we ask the government, the LGU, or when we search the websites of the different LGUs, nasaan dito yung human hair sa landfill? No, they're just miscellaneous. Kasi no one cares about them. Pero may potential problem pala. So I think yung isang insight here is that there are things na parang akala natin wala lang or additional basura lang, but actually has value. And if you believe na parang of course, with the right research, if you believe na may potential talaga siya, then go with it. I know that there are a lot of companies or a lot of startups are going to the modern technologies na, di ba, like AI and etc. So parang ang daming nag-shift na towards that. But always don't forget, no, na parang there are still other things na hindi pa natin na-explore, especially here in the Philippines, that might give some contribution or positive impact mismo to the community and to the environment.
Thanks, Harold. What's next for you? Are there any upcoming projects or initiatives that you're working on?
Yes. Right now, aside from our existing products, actually our product pipeline for the next 3 to 5 years includes the use of our hair mats as a wall insulator. And also, we're trying to convert human hair to specialty paper. I remember the community, the partner nanays, yung major product kasi nila was specialty paper, di ba? So that's the reason why we also partnered with them, because we wanted to explore sana yung human hair to be converted to specialty paper as
Right.
as a as a raw material for secondary packaging.
Mm.
Going back to my research in
Right.
high school.
It all circles back to packaging.
Sana as in may final product na kami. But
Yeah.
there's we lack an equipment, so that's why we're fundraising right now.
Mm.
So that's the product pipeline for the next 3 to 5 years, and we hope to introduce more byproducts made from human hair aside from your wigs and extensions. So ang daming pwedeng gawin sa human hair. Yeah.
Thank you, Harold. That was Harold Laborte, CEO and co-founder of Kapili. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Steve.